So they're still making them. You can buy cheap ones that aren't, but they can't even be sold at Indian fairs and markets.
All right, so hers may have been a little bit bigger than this, but I'm going to stick with this, I think. And this will take its shape as I put it into my slump mold here. All right, so part of the function of this mold is to begin to dry the clay so it will pull out nicely. That's why I decided to use plaster for this one. So I've formed the initial foot of the pot here. I'm going to try what I think is going to be the hardest part. You saw the way that she did it just so skillfully, rolling this clay into what I would think is a very large coil. My coils are usually about an inch. Hers were probably an inch and a half. So she really had, you could tell by watching her hands she was a master. So I'm sure that this won't be quite as nice as hers. She got the perfect width right away. She lays it into the pottery, or into the slump mold rather, all the way around. You see, if I had been practicing for years, I probably would have gotten it perfect on the first try.
If you want to come up,
yeah, feel free to come on up.
Feel free to go up and more.
All right. She was just perfect at this. Get a look right in here. At the completion of each coil, I saw her use a little bit of water, not a lot, no spray bottle like you would use today. She would turn the thing and really eliminate the edge of that coil. By the time her first coil was put on, you couldn't tell that there was a coil there, which was pretty amazing. So she would have, at this point, probably used a tool. In my case, I'm not using a traditional tool, but she would have, to eliminate all of the lines, you know. I'm just kind of spreading and eliminating that coil.
Are we going to put our kiln out in the rotunda?
Yes, and use cow manure as well to fire this thing. So actually, that is a good point. We use an enclosed kiln that is kind of like an oven, where hers would have been like an outdoor fire in a much more traditional way, right? So I also have never done a reduction firing, which would be really cool. She never had to turn her coil from one way to the other, and hers were very even and perfect, so I think I could use a little more practice. All right, and we just build and increase the height. Hers were the perfect length every time, which I think is really tough. All right, so at this point we're eliminating the mark of the coil. Trying to get kind of a uniform surface on the interior and the exterior, which is tough without a pottery wheel. Now when a pottery wheel spins, you end up with a uniform width all the way around, you know. This is a lot tougher. So I think I'll do one more coil. We have a little time. Have the perfect amount of clay here.
Remember the potter Dave Drake that you saw? He used a wheel. But if we had had African pottery, they used the coil method, and they also very much low fire. We just don't have any.